Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be installing a Brembo 17Z big brake kit on the S4. Let's get to it. So my car already had the 17Z brake kit on it for about 2,000 miles, and honestly it's great, huge performance boost over the stock S4 brakes, and that's also the reason why you don't see the calipers here, because they're attached to the brake line and I really don't want to remove the brake line right now and deal with that mess. So to get started, like any other brake kit, we're going to need a set of rotors. For the 17Zs on the S4, you have two options when it comes to rotors. Option one is these here. So these are a Volvo V70R or V60R rotors. These rotors, you can get them from Brembo, StopTech, Power Stop if you want to go something a little cheaper. EBC sells them as well. These are a set of EBC rotors, and once you get the rotors, there is a bit of customization that has to be done if you want them to work on the S4. And luckily the V70R does have the same center bore size as the S4, so we don't have to modify that, but we do have to modify the lug holes. So the lug hole spacing is a little different on the Volvo cars. So you actually have to take a stepper bit like this here and drill the lug holes out to a quarter. So you see here, these are perfectly drilled out to a 1/4 inch. Once you drill those, these rotors will slide right onto the S4 hub and you'll be able to get your lug bolts through, no problem. Another option we have is also getting some Mercedes-Benz rotors, and I'll link a set of those down in the description below. Those, you don't have to modify the lug holes, but you do have to open up the center bore because it's a little smaller than what the S4 center bore is. Another thing we'll be needing is some brake pads. So these here are EBC yellow stuff pads for Porsche Cayenne. The same pads will also work on a Volkswagen Touareg. These calipers did come on both the Touareg and the Cayenne from the factory, and that's what makes them so easy and available to find. So make sure when you're looking for these pads, you find pads that work with the Porsche Cayenne or the Volkswagen Touareg with the 17Z brake kit. And again, I'll link a couple working set of pads in the description below for you guys. One other important piece we'll be needing is some brake hardware. So this hardware is what we'd use to attach the calipers to the upright. When you buy the hardware, you can buy it from a bunch of different sources. You can buy them on eBay, ECS Tuning, FCP Euro, a bunch of sites have them, including Rotor Lab as well, which sells complete 17Z brake kits for all of you who don't want to go ahead and piece them together yourselves. So make sure you get some good quality hardware. The hardware also comes with a sleeve that goes into the caliper to guide the bolt through correctly during install. And last but definitely not least, we have our caliper, which is the most important part, of course. So these calipers specifically came off of a Porsche Cayenne. I got them off of eBay from a buyer who had them, probably pulled them off a junkyard or something. I bought a rebuild kit and changed out all the pistons and the seals, which was about 40 bucks. And I had myself a brand new caliper. After that, I sent it over to get powder coated at a local shop and did them in this banana yellow, and they were all set. One thing to note, when you buy these off of the Cayenne or the Touareg, this crossover right here is going to be at the top. So you see here we have the bleeder here and the crossover here at the bottom. You're going to have to switch these around when you do get these, so that way you could bleed the brakes from the top. So you won't be able to bleed them if you have the crossover on top, because the air will continue to go up like it usually does, and you'll have air settle up top near the crossover and you won't be able to bleed. So make sure you switch the crossover to the bottom, put the bleeders up top. Almost forgot to tell you guys, another very important part of this is your brake lines. I would recommend you go ahead and upgrade your brake line at this point. Yours are probably very old rubber brake lines. They're probably swollen, and why not at this point? You're already in here. Another reason why you would want to upgrade is because these calipers take in a new receiver for the brake line. So as you can see here, so it's no longer a banjo fitting here, it's a direct fit plug into the caliper itself. If you decide to do banjos here, it could lead to leaks, so make sure you do upgrade your brake lines and get the right ones. I'll link these in the description below as well. Okay, so to get started now, you want to go ahead and take off your old calipers. Remove the pads, calipers, the brake line, make sure you get a new one, and just remove all the hardware here so that you have a naked spindle to start with. Next up is the second bit of customization that we have to do. So for this bigger rotor to clear, we're actually gonna have to shave a bit off of the spindle up top here, and also this little bulge at the bottom. So you can whip out an angle grinder or a Dremel or whatever it be, but you have to shave off here and up top. I'll give you guys a view of what it looks like after it's shaved off. All right, so we're all done grinding here now. As you can see here, we shaved a bit off the top here. It's that big shiny area, and we also shaved some at the bottom here. Both these areas stuck out and would hit the back of the rotor when we spun it. So you can see here now we can throw the rotor on, spin it, and we have zero noise. So that means we're not rubbing anywhere. When you do this to test it, you got to make sure it's flush against the hub. All set there. Now that we have our rotor clearance, we'll go ahead and install it onto the hub. And a little tip here, if you have an extra set of spacers, you could stack 2 spacers and screw in your wheel bolt, and that'll hold the rotor in place, so that way you don't have to fiddle around with holding it while you try to install the caliper. Now that our rotor is installed, it's time to move on to installing the caliper. So first things first, make sure you secure your brake line up top here and also at the caliper. Next, slide in your hardware guides. So it's the 2 circular guides that go through here. So make sure you put those in, they're necessary. Now when you're installing the calipers, they install very similar to the old calipers you had. So we have the 2 caliper mounting spots right here and also up here. So what we're gonna do is slide the caliper on there. And once you have the caliper slid on and on the 2 mounting locations, you can go ahead and feed your new hardware bolts through. Now, before we get started, I like to grab the nut and put some red Loctite in it. At the end of the day, these are brakes and I don't need anything letting go while I'm stopping hard. So I'm gonna add some red Loctite, make sure these never back out. Now that you got some Loctite in the nut, we'll go ahead and rest it on the wrench, the open-ended side of the wrench. And we're actually gonna feed the bolt through the bottom here. It's the easiest way to get to the bolt. So you wanna be looking in here when you do this. So make sure you get your head in there. That way you can see what's going on. And then grab your 12mm Allen and put it on the back of the bolt. And then once you have the bolt and the nut lined up in here, you can go ahead and start turning. And you should start feeling the bolt thread into the nut. Once you've caught your threads, you can go ahead and keep turning. Make sure you snug it up. Now once that's snug, we can go ahead and turn our attention to the top bolt. We'll do the same here. Make sure you put some Loctite inside of it. And this one will actually feed through the side here. So you go in through the back of the caliper. Got it all the way up so that it's lined up with the nut. Now once you got the top threaded in, go ahead and snug that up as well. Now once you've got these both in, you want to torque these nuts to very freaking tight. There's no specified torque spec because again, these aren't OEM. But go ahead and make sure you get these really tight. Make sure you get these really tight. These are your brakes. You don't want anything coming loose. That red Loctite should hold, but putting some muscle behind it will help too. Now that we got the top one tight, we'll go ahead and do the bottom as well. Now our caliper is fully installed and it's time to install our pads. Make sure you do lubricate the back of your pads before you install them with whatever pad lubricant came in the box with them. Usually I recommend we start with the back pad. So for these, you'll actually just go ahead and slide it in. You'll feel it bottom out against the rotor there. And then we'll go with the fronts and do the same. Slide that in, push, and you'll hear that bottom out. Next, we have to install the pad retainer and that retainer bolt. I like to use a little bit of lubrication right here in that valley for the bolt. So we'll go ahead and lubricate that, and then just a little as well on the sides where it makes contact with the pads. Now the pad retainer goes on like that. and we'll just let it sit there. And now we'll grab our guide pin. The guide pin also has to be lubricated, so we'll go ahead and lubricate the entire pin. Once you've got some grease on the pin, we'll go ahead and slide it through. So you have a hole on the side of the caliper and also through your pads. So the pin will go through all of them. And notice the pin does have a flat edge on each side. On the front of your caliper, you will see a flat edge. You gotta make sure you guide the pin in there so that the flat edges line up. That'll be like locking the bolt in so that you can go ahead and tighten the nut that goes on the back. So we'll go ahead and push this through. Make sure it's holding on to both pads on each side here, and then we'll push our pin all the way through. You'll have to press down on it so that way the pin compresses, pushing the pads down, and you can slide the rest of the pin in. Now once you got the pin in and the flat edges here on the outside of the caliper match up, it's time to install our bolt. So the pin is hollow on the inside, thread the bolt in, and that's a 13 millimeter. We'll just snug that up. And once you snug that up, we're all set. We can go ahead and install our wheel, and our brake setup is complete. One thing you do want to check before you leave this is to make sure your rotor spins freely. Again, just making sure there's no rubbing issues or anything going on. Also, a quick tip is make sure you turn your wheel all the way towards the opposite side of what you're working on. That way the caliper will come out and it'll give you a lot more space to work with. All right, so we're all set. Make sure you guys bed in your brakes before you go ahead and start stomping on them. So make sure you follow the procedure of whatever was on the pads or the rotors you bought to make sure your brakes are bedded in and broken in correctly. This is a really fun mod to do, both aesthetically and for performance. So you do get increased performance and thermal load for your brakes, which is very important to have, especially if you're going faster. And they also look awesome. So it's a win-win on both sides there. All right, so thanks again for watching the video. Like I said before, this is a very fun mod and enjoyable mod to do, so I would definitely recommend you do it. If you enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button. If you loved it, please subscribe. And you can follow me on Instagram here to keep up with the day-to-day stuff. See you guys in the next one. Peace.